Welcome to today's webinar titled Chat Chili. We're going to talk all about how to spice up your Dynamics 365 CE/CRM and Power Platform experiences with Copilot and ChatGPT. Our speakers today are Jennifer Dorward and Pablo Peralta, who are both solution architects here at C5 Insight. If you haven't engaged with us before, C5 Insight is a Microsoft partner that helps organizations modernize their digital workplaces and accelerate business results through people-centric digital transformation. As a note, if you'd like access to these slides with hot links to the demos our speakers will be sharing throughout, contact us on our website at c5insight.com/contact. Over to you, Jennifer.
Thanks, Haley. All right, so we're going to start with the basics of what is generative AI. So I'm sure everyone's heard a lot about AI, the concepts, different terms being thrown around, ChatGPT, maybe Dolly, obviously Copilot, all this good stuff. So we'll start with the basics. So generative AI can generate multimedia content in the form of images and text, but also through machine learning type model training. It can create music and video as well. GPT itself stands for Generative Pre-training Transformer, and it's a type of artificial intelligence model developed by OpenAI that uses machine learning to produce human-like text. It's generative because it can create new content. It's pre-trained because it has already been trained on a large quantity of internet text. And it's a transformer because it uses transformer architecture, which is really just a specific type of neural network architecture that is used to process data. So it's really like the engine behind it all. So Copilot, Microsoft Copilot is derived from this technology and is continuing to evolve throughout the Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, and Power Platform stack. Copilot is growing and evolving daily, so we're going to provide an overview of what's out there now. It's changed quite a lot, month to month even. And then the caveat that there will be additions made in the coming weeks and months, and we encourage you to continue to explore. We have a link to the Copilot release plans that we'll include in the description, so you can kind of see what's in the on the roadmap. So there's seemingly never-ending options for using AI and GPT tools. From simple content creation to competitive or predictive analysis, AI tools are super helpful and will help save you tons of time. There we go. An important note of caution, though, however you are using any kind of AI or GPT tools, reviewing and editing is a must. Anything AI generated, you would want to just review, edit, double check. You may have heard of AI hallucinations. They are really a product of AI becoming a little too creative to the point of unrealistic and even nonsensical. So as we run through some use cases and examples, please keep that in mind and consider what could go wrong. So right now, there are many different flavors of Copilot out there. Some require licensing and some currently do not. We'll touch on license pricing briefly when it's applicable. One Copilot falling in that category is Microsoft Copilot for Sales. So Microsoft Copilot for Sales makes it easy for sellers to write emails quickly and confidently with suggested content. They save time with summaries of email threads being constructed for them by Copilot. They can catch up on opportunities in seconds rather than doing some digging on their own. Also, then it can provide them with answers, basically to know what to say when a competitor or another brand is mentioned during a meeting. Really so much more. These are just a quick sprinkling of options, how you can use Microsoft Copilot for Sales with other Office and Microsoft products. So as we only have about an hour today, we will take a look at some of the top use cases, but please keep in mind that there are a ton of possibilities to leverage AI using Copilot in your everyday workspace. So as you see there at the bottom, Microsoft Copilot for Sales is currently $50 per user per month. With that $50 license, it also comes with Copilot for Microsoft 365. So there are a lot of Copilot for Sales integrates and works closely with Microsoft 365, so that Copilot license is included. Now, if you already have Copilot for Microsoft 365, then you would pay an additional $20 per user per month to add on the Copilot for Sales. So that's essentially everything there. Right. So Microsoft Copilot for Sales within Outlook, as I said, it touches on different areas with Office. So Outlook is a big one. Within Outlook, you can create CRM contacts and add private notes. So as you're working with an email, you can there's a flyout menu on the right side of the screen, and I'll show you that in a moment, where you can view contacts based on who the from of an email, or even the to if you're composing an email, and also be able to access or create private notes for anything you might want to keep in mind for future interactions with that customer. Outlook will also, or Copilot within Outlook will also summarize, track, and save your emails, meetings, and events right to CRM. You can draft emails using context-aware email suggestions. Essentially, it's going to know what emails have been received by that contact and have that context to be able to suggest different verbiage to use on future drafts. Then also, you can link to CRM accounts and opportunities for new emails you receive for different contacts, and also collaborate with Teams channels right from Outlook. So I have a couple of little bite-sized videos I'm going to share with you, so you can get your eyes on this. It's a lot to hear hear me talk about it. It's if you're a visual learner like me, this will be helpful to really get your eyes on it.
Today, I received an email from Allie Jameson at Contoso. I'll open that email, then click the apps icon above the email and choose to open Copilot for Sales. Since I regularly use Copilot for Sales, I'll also click the push pin to automatically have Copilot open for all of my emails. I can see that Allie isn't in our CRM yet, but her other coworkers in the email are. Let's add Allie to CRM. As you can see, Copilot has looked at Allie's signature line to fill in as much information on the new contact form as possible. I'll fill in the company name and save the record. I'm also going to save the email to CRM, and I'll attach it to the opportunity I've already opened for the Contoso account.
All right, so that's covering tracking an email within Outlook. Next, we're going to look at summarizing an email thread.
Let's take a look at another Copilot feature found in Outlook that can seamlessly integrate with your CRM using Copilot for Sales. Today, we're going to be talking about Summary by Copilot, and as you see, this feature is going to automatically appear at the top of any email or email thread that you may have. All you have to do is click on the summary, and it's going to take just a moment to generate a full summary of the email after scanning all of the information that you may have missed. And in this summary, it's going to give you the important people, topics, and if needed, we'll even give you citations to where in that email thread the information is coming from. Not only that, but I can go a step further by clicking into Add Sales Insights. It's going to take just another moment to scan through and try to pull out any information that is more specific to the sales process. After the additional scan, you're going to see updated verbiage all through my summary, including additional information that is more specific to my sales process with this client. If this looks great and I want to save that information, all I have to do is click on my Go to Sales button at the bottom to open up my full Copilot for Sales panel that allows me to save this directly into CRM.
Okay. And lastly, on the Outlook subject, we are going to look at email coaching. That's another neat little functionality.
Recommendations for the message at hand.
Sorry about that. Got away from me.
Let's take a look at how we can use coaching by Copilot to help us elevate the messages that we're sending to our clients. I've already gone ahead and drafted an email and linked an account from my CRM using Copilot for Sales, but now I want to make sure that this reads correctly before I send it over. All I have to do is open up Copilot and click on my coaching feature, and it'll take just a second to analyze and scan through what I already have typed up and give me some suggestions that I can make to improve my overall messaging. And after just a moment, it's going to scan through the message that was there and give me some different recommendations for the message at hand. It's going to include the tone, the reader sentiment, and the clarity, and give me different ways that I can improve my message based on how it thinks my client's going to read it.
Okay, pretty neat stuff. So overall, saves sellers a lot of time and helps keep everything all organized in one place, Outlook, and then ties to a few other places, but they're all integrated so that you can seamlessly move back and forth between these different areas. So the next section is regarding Teams, Dynamics 365, and Word, specifically Dynamics 365 for sales. So with this, you can run through, you can increase productivity with meeting tracking and agenda creation, and then also using Microsoft Copilot for Sales to assist you with meeting preparation. So there are different facets of that, and so we're going to take a look at meeting tracking and agenda creation first.
Just use the copy button and paste. I'm working through my email list and come to this email from Allie Jameson from Contoso. This looks like a great opportunity to bring a lot of value to a prospect and engage directly with some decision makers. So I'll start by scheduling a meeting using the Reply with Meeting feature built right into Outlook. And I'll select a time and then open it in Copilot. I can see that all of the participants in the meeting are already in CRM, but if they weren't, I could add them from here just like I could from an email message. I always make sure to add the meeting to CRM using Copilot. There's already an opportunity in CRM for this record, so it's easy to save it to that. This puts all the important information into CRM. Data like this makes Copilot even more helpful. And it sets me up to run a more productive meeting when the time comes using Copilot. While I'm here, I see that Allie Jameson is probably the decision maker on this opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the opportunity record right here in Outlook to make that change. When sending a meeting invitation, it's a good idea to include a note and to suggest an agenda to include within the meeting body. There are a lot of places I can ask Copilot to help me with this. I'm going to go to my office.com homepage in this case and click on the Copilot logo. This and Teams chat are great places for general chats with Copilot. I'm going to ask it to create a description field for the meeting. Notice that I can use the / to open a searchable browser to find files, emails, meetings, and more. I'll enter Contoso to find the email I'm looking for. And Copilot builds my meeting description for me. Notice that this chat gets added to the list of Copilot chats, so I can reference it in the future, or I can delete it if I prefer. Now I'll just use the copy button and paste it into the meeting and send off the meeting invitation.
So much time saved there. We are going to move on and look at meeting prep a little bit more, but this time in the context of D365 sales.
Public news sources have reported about. I'm preparing for my meeting with Contoso that's coming up this afternoon. I used to have to navigate to multiple records in CRM to do this. Now I navigate to the record that the meeting is regarding. In this case, the opportunity with Contoso. When I arrive on the record, Copilot automatically generates a summary of the opportunity for me. I can see the latest changes and a summary of the fields on the opportunity. And I can copy this information with a click if I want to add it to an overall summary. I can also work with Copilot to get ready for my meeting. Copilot has already given me a suggested prompt to prepare me for upcoming appointments. So let's start with that. I'll hover over the meeting I want and click Prepare. And it gives me a nice summary based on information gathered in emails, meetings, and CRM to help me be ready for the meeting. I can dig a little deeper and ask some more questions. Let's get the latest news about Contoso. Here I can see what public news sources have reported about Contoso or whatever account record I'm on recently. I can click these to open them to dive deeper.
So I think you're probably getting to see, getting the idea of why this is called Copilot. It's like having someone right there with you, helping to guide you, and really having an on-demand assistant there, really just cutting down the workload and making you very, very much more efficient. So let's switch gears now to Teams chat to prepare for a meeting.
Every morning, I like to have a routine of going through all of my scheduled meetings to be sure I'm prepared for each one. Today, I know I have a meeting with Allie Jameson and several of her coworkers from Contoso. I already happen to be here in Teams chat, and I want to be prepared for this meeting. Before I get started, I'm going to make sure that Teams chat will pull in information from the web and from Dynamics 365. So I'll start by learning a bit about Contoso. Notice that this has pulled in information from our own internal company information, as well as information from the web. And I can click on these references to open websites, SharePoint pages, emails, and more to see where the information comes from. Next, let's learn about who will be involved in the meeting. Notice that Copilot has suggested some additional things I may want to ask about. Knowing the benefits of Copilot for Sales could help me be on top of the meeting. So let's see those benefits. Notice again that it's bringing information together from within our company, coming through SharePoint documents, Dynamics, and other resources, and from the web to present this information. Okay, let's ask one more question. At C5 Insight, we have an offering called a Luck 365 plan to help provide support, administration, adoption, and planning. So I'm going to ask Copilot to give me a list of benefits for how this service offering may be helpful to Contoso. Great, I've assembled a lot of information that might help me with this meeting. From here, I can copy these and paste them into Word or OneNote or some other location to make sure I've got all of this information at my fingertips to have the most productive possible meeting.
All right, at this point, I'm imagining you're thinking, where has Copilot for Sales been all my life? So many cool features and functionality. And last on the list for today to share with you is regarding Word Online, using some data from your CRM.
My meeting this afternoon with Contoso is an important one. I need to not only have a full summary of the client relationship, but I also need to be sure I'm ready to deliver the best possible pitch for their business. And I want all of this in a meeting document I can share with the team so we're all on the same page, literally. I'll start by going to Microsoft Word on the web and click the Copilot link. And I'm going to ask a question in plain English. Help me prep for the pitch meeting with. Now I want to find the meeting record from my CRM system. I can either click the reference your content button, or I can just hit the slash bar, which I'll do now. I'll select the sales meetings option, and then click the meeting I want to prepare for. Now I want to go one step further, so I'm going to add to my conversation with Copilot based on, this time I'll click the reference your content button. I can start typing and all of my content will be searched. I'll select this first document and click Generate. In a few minutes, Copilot has drafted a comprehensive document to help me be fully prepared for the meeting. As the owner of the relationship with Contoso, I can update this document to be sure it's complete and contains accurate information, and then share it to the rest of my selling team.
So much time saved, and what a sharp looking document. Have everyone on the same page and ready to go into that meeting. All right. So I'm going to take a step back here and pass it over to Pablo, who is going to show you a quick demonstration on how you can configure Microsoft Copilot for sales.
Sure. So you can see my screen?
Yes.
Good. So in order to make all that magic to work, you can configure Copilot for Sales. And the way to do that is within Teams. You have to have it added the Copilot for Sales app. Okay, I already have it, so it has the open option here. If you don't have it installed, you will need to click on Add. And after that, you will have the application here. I can open it directly from here as well. You can use Copilot for Sales within Teams here as well. But what we are going to do is to choose the settings tab to see how it's configured. So here, basically, you are signing into an environment. In this case, I'm signing in to Dynamics 365, okay? But you can switch environment, of course, if you have a different environment. And then if you click here within Copilot AI, you will see that this switch is toggle on, which means that Copilot for Sales is on. And you can also choose to try the newest preview features as well to have that enabled. And those are basically the general features to have it on. And then you have this option here that is called Forms. In this option, you will see the different entities / tables that you can use and relate records to within Outlook. By default, these are the options: contact, opportunity, and account, okay? And if we enter within any of these configurations, if for instance, I click here on contacts and click on edit, I will see that I have the option to create new contacts within Copilot for Sales. So within Outlook, when I receive an email, and if I don't have that contact already tracked in Dynamics 365, I will be able to create that contact right away from there. So that is this option, as well as editing those records. And here are the fields that are going to be available in Outlook, and these are the fields by default. But of course, you can click here and add other out-of-the-box fields or custom fields that you want. So, for instance, if you want to add the addresses field, you can also do so. For instance, the address one, I don't know, address city, country, I don't know, the street 1, okay, and street 2. If you want to have the entire address for those records, you can also add those fields here, and you can also move this up and down according to the way you want to see them, okay? The other options here, if when you have a preview, I want to see just a couple of details for each record. In this case, the fields that you are going to see by default are the job title and the company name, but you can choose other ones. And whenever you are ready, you just click on publish, and those changes are going to take effect. Okay. And for instance, from here as well, I can add another record type that is usually used by salespeople, which are leads records. Okay, so I can also add the lead entity table here. And this is also the different relationship that leads have to other entities within the system. Those are automatically inferred by Copilot here. You just click on next, and the next option here is picking a view that will serve as to have the columns, to have the fields that are going to be displayed. So you can pick from here, for instance, open leads, okay, and that view is going to be used to list the fields here that are going to be displayed when you relate records with leads. Okay, and here as well, I can choose the primary two fields that are mostly relevant, for instance, topic and name. Okay, publish those changes. So now with that configuration, with all of those changes published, if we go to Outlook, and let me just quickly refresh this stuff here. Um, you can see here I received just an email from Sophia, okay, that is inquiring from some services, and as Jen also showed through the videos, you can click here in apps and you will find Copilot for Sales. So from that, you can relate this email to an existing contact, for instance, or you can create that new contact as well. So in this case, I don't have Sophia in the system, so I will create that in Dynamics 365. So I will click here this button to add to Dynamics 365, and Copilot automatically infers a lot of information from the email. So the first name, last name, title, email, I don't know, phone here is automatically filled for you, and you will see these other fields that we added. So we added those fields, and we can now fill that information as well. Okay, we are not going to do that, right? That is an option that you have now that you added those fields. So that's the way you can now have those fields within Dynamics, and you can create the contact right away from here and have this email related to that new contact in the system. Okay. And yeah, here we have a quick preview of that information. Okay, and let's see, for instance, I have here an alert, a notification from system administrator related a new lead in the system. And now, as I set up leads to be used in Copilot as well, if I open Copilot from here, I will be able to also relate this email, save this email, and say that this email I'm going to connect to a lead that is page here. So I see the lead option here, and I see the page Casada lead here, and I can relate that field because we added that entity as well. Okay, back to you, Jen.
Thank you, Pablo. That was fantastic. All right. We'll be back to you shortly, but we want to
My
go
pleasure.
ahead and talk a little bit about Microsoft Copilot for Service. And service encompasses both customer service and field service. So on the customer service side, some of the features that you can use, and these are just really the top ones, auto-generating case summaries. So your agents at a glance can see what all has transpired during the case and any action that's been taken. Assist with case responses by searching knowledge articles as well as drafting emails. So a sidecar will also, just as it did with Outlook for sales, will happen within customer service. Any of the customer service apps, it will fly out on the side, and you'll be able to have that Copilot working right with your agents to assist them with verbiage, suggested knowledge articles, anything that will help them, whether they be a newer trainee or someone new to the team, or seasoned folks, seasoned agents. Helps really save time, streamline processes, and make things like a consistent experience for your customer. And then also Copilot for service, for customer service, does also integrate with omni-channel. So that enhances the agent productivity and improves customer satisfaction. So in the ways that I had mentioned, and then really digs in on an omni-channel level. So whether it be through chat, email, voice, and such. On the field service side, you can leverage Copilot, excuse me, to provide a summary or recap of the work order so that there's visibility into customer issues by anyone, whether it be management, sales, or customer care. And so everybody can have some insights into that and have a little better view when they're working with customers of what their recent experiences have been. For Microsoft Copilot for Service, there is a $50 per month per user licensing fee. And just like for sales, if you already have, it comes with Microsoft 365 Copilot. So if you already have that, it would be the additional $20 per user per month to add on Microsoft Copilot for Service. So this again is because that Microsoft Copilot for Service works it integrates with and also works hand in hand with other Office and Microsoft applications. So real quick, wanted to share just some visuals on how you can set up Copilot. It is super simple and rather intuitive to set up Copilot for Service. The four core actions that you'll go through are create, connect, customize, and deploy. So up in the top right there, you see for setting up your Copilot, you're really just naming it, picking which environment and what language you would want to use as the core language for your Copilot. Then next, you can go ahead and connect any kind of content that you want to essentially train your Copilot on or have it be able to reference. So you can do that by adding websites. You can add more than one website. So this might be your main company website. So if customers are inquiring about different products or services that you offer, they'll be able to ask Copilot what ask for answers so that agents can be able to pass that information along to customers based on their inquiries. Same is true for documents, any kind of other materials or resource documentation. You can have available marketing collateral, things of that nature, so that when agents are presented with questions, they're prepared to be able to answer those without having all of that knowledge top of mind. And then on the customize, you can personalize the agent Copilot to align with your brand and service style. So if there's particular terminology that you use for your branding, or whether you use a more professional tone or friendly or matter of fact, maybe, but whichever would align with your brand, you can make those customizations so that the what suggestions are made to your agents, they're able to then copy and paste if and then check and tweak if there's anything needed to be adjusted, but they don't have to completely recreate that copy or take that and put it into their own words, or polish it up and add more terminology that's specific to your brand. Regarding agent assistance, you can equip agents with the AI-powered answers, as discussed, using that sidecar that drives out from the right side of the window. And this is an example here of how your agents can use it within Outlook. When they receive an email, they're able to have a suggested reply drafted by Copilot. You can rate, the agent can rate whether it's a good or bad response to help give that feedback to Microsoft using the thumbs up or thumbs down options. And then you can also, if it's referencing the wrong opportunity, you're able to change that right here from the side panel. Again, a little reminder, if you're using Copilot regularly, you can use this little thumbtack and pin it. And then if you're not using it currently, you can also unpin it to have more real estate back on your screen. Here's another example of how Copilot for Service can assist agents while drafting emails in Outlook. They can go through and provide a case summary, so your agents can get quickly up to speed, especially if a case is being, or an email is being forwarded to them. So other agents can jump in to assist when needed. You'll also have the option to add contacts right into CRM if the requester is not already in your CRM. And also it will pull key pieces of information that will help or can help your agents to draft an email reply back to the requester. All right, now we're going to dig into some of the other Copilot flavors, and we're going to start with Power Automate. I'm going to pass it over to Pablo, and he'll be running through Power Automate and a couple of others, Power Apps and Copilot Studio, to see what offerings the Power Platform has for us.
Sure, and it has a lot, and of course, just a few minutes won't be enough, not even for touch the surface, but let's do a little bit. So one of those possibilities is within Power Automate. So you will see now that when you are in Power Automate, you have this on the home page. Let's automate something. What should I do? And from here you can write what you need to do. Okay, and you also have some suggestions. Okay, or you can also, it's exactly the same option that you have when you click here on create, and you have the describe it to design it option. That is exactly the same. Okay. But now you will see more and more at the home page for Power Automate, Power Apps, to start right away with Copilot. Okay, so here you basically type what you want to do, and Copilot, in this case for Power Automate, is going to propose or outline a flow for us. And the prompt that we are going to give to it in this case is, whenever a new lead record is created in Dynamics 365 Sales, send me a message in Teams including this information, including topic, first name, last name, and company name fields from the new record. Okay, so that is what I want. So I will click on submit, and Copilot for Power Automate is going to work and suggest a workflow for me, and it looks like it did a pretty decent job. It inferred the trigger type. It identified that it had to look it up for my user in order to post a message in a chat or Teams channel. So looks like it is going to work. So I'm going to click on next, okay, and I'm going to create the flow. When I get it to it, I identify that I still have some stuff to do here, so it's not 100% completed, but it's a good start. And I have a conversational dynamic here where I can ask more stuff to Copilot, and we are going to do that in a minute too. Okay, and basically get become friends with this new this designer for Power Automate, because that's going to be the new designer for the by default in Power Automate whenever you create a new flow, a new Power Automate flow. Okay, so here, for instance, you can click here. You see that identify the change type, but it really couldn't get it to the table. So we are going to choose leads here, identify the scope, that is organization. Then this is fine. Okay, it's going to pick up for my profile. And sorry. And in this case, for this activity with Teams, we have posted the flow bot. Okay, you can post it to the chat with flow bot. You can post it to a channel. I will leave it by default, and you can put something like woohoo, you have a new lead. Okay, you got a new lead. Okay, and here, oh, sorry, that was the recipient. In the recipient, I will point it to the dynamic information, and I will get the mail from the get my profile previous step. Okay, and here, of course, I can make use of dynamic data. Okay, I can have the topic from the lead, I can have the first name and all that stuff. I know we have very few minutes for this, so we are tight in time. But let me write here first name and last name. Okay, just to give you an example. And as I said, you also have the option to ask for more stuff to Copilot. So let's go into ask for one more step, that in the case that if the purchase time frame for that lead is immediate, I also want to receive an email, for instance. So we are going to type that here, okay, and say, okay, finally, if the added lead records purchase time frame is equal to immediate, then send me an email with the same message as the Teams message. Okay, so let's going to submit that so Copilot can work on that and suggest me the actions to incorporate in the flow. And you can see that these are the actions it proposed. So after this one, it puts a condition, and if it's true, it sends an email through Outlook. So it looks like the suggestion was good. In case it wasn't, you also have the option to undo, and you can rate that stuff here. So good job, Copilot. That was fine. And here it interpreted perfectly my condition. Okay, so if it went through, then it's going to send an email to the same address and with exactly the same message as the Teams here. Okay, so I'm going to save that stuff. Okay, so that's ready, And I'm going to go through Dynamic 365 here. I'm going to create a new lead, and we call it a new lead from Copilot webinar. Okay, and the first name is going to be you, Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer D. Okay, and let's company just amazing. Okay, and yeah, the company C5 inside. Okay, so and I'm going to choose here within the qualified, I'm going to choose time frame immediate as well. So you are ready to buy Copilot right now.
I can't
Okay,
wait.
so so click on save. Okay, so if everything works as expected, I should receive here a Teams message. Let's see uh if the whoa, woohoo, have a good news here. You've got a new lead. Okay, and I should have an email here as well. Okay, here it is. Okay, that's because the time frame was immediate. Okay, so that's the type of things that you can start playing with and doing with Copilot for Power Automate. Let's quickly move to Copilot for Power Apps. You will find pretty much the same here. Okay, so that you can start by just describing what you want. And in this case, I'm going to, this is for Canvas apps, okay? And I'm going to ask Copilot to create an app, okay, to track the list of attendees to my business event. And please include first name, last name, company, email, phone, and the level of interest in our products, okay? So I'm going to submit that. This is an application that I want to have to keep track of attendees for my business events. So Copilot understand that from my description, and it offers here a data model. This is for Dataverse, okay? And it has everything that I asked it for, but I realized that I forgot to include some address information as well. So making use of that conversational dynamic as well. So here I can ask Copilot and say, oh, add a column to include address info. Okay. So before creating the app, we are also refining those requirements for Copilot and asking for more stuff. In this case, for address info, and it added that column. So now that themes look are complete, I'm going to create the app, and actually Copilot is going to do that for me. Okay, so Copilot is going to create that app for me. Okay, and within 1, 2 more seconds, we should be there, okay, with an application that is based on a data model on Dataverse to keep track of the information I need. And you will have the Canvas app just ready to go, okay? 1 more sec, just being a little patient. Okay, so here we are. Okay, it also has some sample records already and some stuff that we can do from here as well. Okay, is you can, for instance, go to the record gallery here, and you also have more Copilot. Okay, so you can use Copilot within the app to also ask for more ideas or suggestions. So if you click here, you can have Copilot help you with all the sorting and filtering stuff for that gallery. So here are some suggestions that you can just pick, or you can say, oh no, please sort records by company name, for instance. Okay, and click on that. So Copilot starts to work on that, interprets the your request, and suggest the formula that I can click here and I can apply that. And now records are going to be sorted according to that company. And you have much more stuff here. And Copilot lets you add new screens like an email screen, add more libraries, or add a button or whatever. So you will see that conversational dynamic among the different copilots. Okay. And just to wrap up, very quick, uh, the other copilot that I encourage you to look at and play with it, it's Copilot Studio. It was formerly Power Virtual Agents, but now it's huge, much more than that, and it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And for me, at least, it seems to be the one stop when you want to extend what Copilot offers to you, whether if it's through a chatbot or through having some plugins, some actions, some stuff that also can invoke um, uh, builder. What's the name?
Oh, AI builder?
AA Builders, thank you for that. So it's your one shop for that. So you will find here the copilots, which are pretty much what was originally Power Virtualizations. Okay, but you have plenty of more stuff here, and you will see the preview tag everywhere. And every week you enter here, we will find new stuff. Okay, so here, for instance, plugins like calling AA Builder, okay, or they also call plugins using some custom actions for Power Automate or some stuff. So maybe there are some kinds using a lot the term of AI, but the reality is that all of those are stuff that you can extend. You can use to extend the possibilities, and these tags are used to identify where you can use the stuff you build. So in this case, it's going to be for Microsoft Copilot, for Microsoft 365, and also for all the copilots that you build through Copilot Studio. So whenever you see Microsoft Copilot Studio, those are your copilots, your formerly Power Virtual Agents. Okay. So you will have plenty of stuff here. Really, we don't have the time at this moment for do a full demo of those. But for instance, something that I would suggest as a quick start is creating a new copilot from here. Okay. And in this case, for instance, I'm going to create a copilot for the New York. I recently went to the New York Public Library. It was New York. Let me check the address. I think it's NPL. I swear I got it here. Yeah, npl.org. Okay, so Copilot New York Library, New York Public Library demo. Okay, and here you, instead of doing it the old-fashioned way where you have to set up all the different topics and all that stuff, now you can start with your website and say, okay, my information is on my website and this is the URL. So please create a copilot that can graph and understand information through generative AI from that website to provide answers to my end customers. Okay, so of course it will all depends on how your information is structured, how the website is structured, how easy or complex is to uh, scan that website and get to the information. But things like, okay, for instance, from the New York Public Library, now that we use that example and use a prompt here, what are the best books for kids? Okay, for instance, it will try to crawl all the New York Public Library website in search for an answer for that question. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, it's all in preview, and sometimes it takes a little more time to digest the content. So, for instance, you saw the first time I tried, it didn't work, but I tried again, and it provided a very decent um, here reply. Okay, and the way it does it is because it has a topic automatically set up for you. You don't have to do anything for that. That is the conversational boosting topic. And that topic is triggered every time that there is no other topic that matches. So it uses this activity, that is create generative answers, and for doing that, it uses the different data sources that you provide. In this case, I provided this data source, okay? But you can also add other data sources like other websites, like your own document or your SharePoint website as well, or things that you can start to do now, that is also integrating this with OpenAI services, integrating it with Azure Cognitive Services, with bot frameworks. So that is why I'm telling you that this is going to be the one stop for building generative AI extensions for your company. Okay. So I know I ran out of time, but so back to you, Jen, if you want to wrap up with some final thoughts on this, and I will more than happy to, of course, follow the conversation offline.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pablo. I will end on this slide here. What you were just running us through with Copilot Studio. So much content that we could make really a 2-hour webinar on just all of the cool things, how you can use Copilot Studio to extend that Copilot functionality, creating bots, creating all kinds of internal and external resources to really jazz up websites or extend your team's capabilities, and also just it's, in some ways it's like adding a headcount, but you have to really be careful to have all that stuff set up in the background. So double checking and making sure it's all set. As a great example there, Pablo, with how you can ask the same question twice. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So while it doesn't replace people, it can help augment and fill in some of the gaps. So there is that expectation to set as far as limitations, but overall, it's super exciting about where we're headed with all of this neat technology regarding Copilot, and there's just going to be so much more to come. So stay tuned. C5 Insight has really been digging into Copilot. We've really digging into anything AI and Copilot, how all of those can be integrated with your daily sales or service teams, marketing, any ways that can be useful to improve your processes. So leaving off with, this is the pricing for Microsoft Copilot Studio. That's not a per user per month, so might take a little gasp there at the sticker, but that's on a messages per month basis. So really that's something that is something that would benefit from more discussion if you're interested in that. So we always welcome that. Feel free to reach out. And on that note, Haley, I don't know if you have anything to add.
Thanks for today's webinar, guys. You did a great job sharing how organizations can begin using Copilot across various business applications to start streamlining or their operations and improving just overall efficiency. As a reminder, if you'd like a copy of the slides with links to the videos that our speakers shared, you can contact us at c5insight.com/contact. Hope to see you soon.